Hey, what's up everybody? It's Brian Dean from QuickSprout, and in this video I'm going to teach you how to set up a WordPress blog from scratch. So your first step is to log into your hosting control panel, and they all look pretty much the same. So when you're logged into here, scroll to the bottom and look for software or services, or sometimes it'll say blogs. And what you want to do is look for Fantastico Deluxe. So click on Fantastico Deluxe. And Fantastico Deluxe is basically a software program that can install WordPress on your site automatically. So once you're in Fantastico Deluxe, under blogs, choose WordPress and then click on New Installation. Next, where it says Install on Domain, you want to pick the domain from the list that you want WordPress installed on. So if you only have one domain in your hosting account, it'll automatically show up here. But if you have multiple, you want to pick the right one from the drop-down menu. Now under Install in Directory, you have a few options. If you just leave it blank, it'll install WordPress on your homepage, which in most cases, especially for blogs, you definitely want that to be the case. But if you're putting a separate blog on your site, like if you run an agency or something like that, and you want your blog to be separate, you can include something like this. Okay, and that'll install WordPress in the blog, and the rest of your site, you can install a different CMS. Now under administrator username, you want to put something secure. So don't put admin, because that is actually the default username for WordPress. You'd want to put something more secure. Okay, so I'm just going to use this one, and password is obviously the same story. You want to put something secure with a lot of letters and numbers and symbols. And then under admin nickname, this should just be what you want displayed when people read your posts. So in this case, I'm going to put Brian. And your email is your email address that you want to associate with your WordPress installation, so when people leave comments, you'll get notified. And then under your site name, some people recommend putting keywords in the site name and description, but I don't, because I feel like that's a little bit spammy. So I would just name it whatever the name of your website is, and description you can either leave blank or put something like, you know, a blog about SEO. Then click on Install WordPress. Okay, so once you see this message, this means you are all set. Just click on Finish Installation. And once you see this page, you know that your WordPress installation installed okay and you're ready to go. So next we're gonna log into our WordPress account. To do that, click on this link here, which will give you your WP admin URL, which is the same for every WordPress site. It's WP-admin, and that's where you can access your site. And this is what you'll see, okay? And this is where you want to enter the username and password that you used when you created your WordPress installation. So when you log in, this is what you'll see, which is called the WordPress dashboard. So the first thing you want to do is set your settings so they're in line with what you want from your site. And to do that, you'll notice that there's a huge menu on the left-hand side. You just want to hover over the settings button and click on General. And what this will do, it'll show you some of the things that you set up during the WordPress installation, like your site title and your tagline, and you can change these if you want. Otherwise, you just want to change your time zone to the one that fits with you, your date format and time format. So there's no advantages or disadvantages to any of these, but it's just your personal preference. Next, click on the reading button under settings. And this is where you can make the decision of whether or not you want to show your home page as your latest post or a static page. Let me show you what I mean. QuickSprout shows latest posts, okay? So when Neil publishes a new post, this one will be moved down and this one will be moved down, okay? So it's a dynamic homepage that shows the latest post. Now on the other hand, neilpatel.com is a static page. So no matter how much content he publishes on this site, this homepage remains the same. So you want to pick whichever one is best for you and your blog. Now where it says blog pages show at most, you want to limit this to something like 3 or 5, because if you put 10, that's actually going to show 10 posts on your homepage, which can be very cumbersome and hard to load, especially for people with mobile devices. And then for each article in a feed, you want to choose summary, okay? And under search engine visibility, you definitely want to leave this unchecked, because if you check this, it means that search engines won't index your site. Once that's done, click on Save Changes. Next, click on the discussion button, and you basically want to keep most of these the same, because what these are doing is that if people link to you, it'll notify you. And under comment settings, this will make sure that people that comment, actually fill out their name and email, so you don't get a lot of comment spam. And this is really the settings that you want to keep for most blogs. And you can, of course, make changes to your article settings or comment settings, but I've found that these are actually pretty good. Now, next you want to click on media. And again, these are things you can change. So if you want the thumbnail size for images on your site to be bigger or smaller, you can change that, or medium size. So when you add images to your website and you choose medium, it'll by default have this size, so you don't have to set the individual sizes every time. Once that looks good, click on Save Changes. And finally, we're going to click on permalinks. This is actually a very, very important setting, because by default, your permalinks look like this. So it's your URL / and then this ugly P thing. And not only is this poor for user experience and sharing on social media, it's also not very good for SEO. So in general, you want to click on post name. So what that'll do is, if this is your post title, a sample post, it'll show it like this. And you can of course change it when you actually post, but this is a good default setting. And once that's good, click on Save Changes. Next, you want to install some basic plugins to make sure your site is fully functional. And to do that, hover over plugins and click on Add New, and then type in WP Total Cache. And what that does is it'll make a cache of your page, which will basically make your site load more quickly. Then click on Install Now, OK, and then click on Activate Plugin. Once that's installed, click on Add New again, and you want to repeat this process for Yoast SEO. So just type in Yoast SEO and click on Search Plugins, and it's the third one in the results, your WordPress SEO by Yoast. Then once that's installed, you want to type in Secure WP and click on Search Plugins again, and choose Better WP Security from the list. So those are the basic plugins. There are thousands that you can choose from, but those are the 3 most important. Next, your blog needs a theme, because by default, WordPress installs this theme, which looks okay, but you probably want something with a little more flash and pizzazz for your blog and for your business. So to find a theme that fits with what your site is all about, hover over Appearance and click on Themes, and then click on Install Themes. Now there are thousands of themes that you can pick, so you can choose some of the feature filters here. So if you want a purple theme, you'd want to click purple, and if you want 2 columns, you could click 2 columns, then click on Find Themes, and WordPress will show you all the themes in their database. Now it's important to note that there are a lot of themes that aren't in this internal database, so you may want to search on Google for themes. Once you've found one that you think looks good, click on Install Now. Then click on Live Preview, and that way you can see what it would actually look like when you install it on your site. And if it looks okay, click on Save and Activate. And when you go to look at your site and refresh, it'll have the new theme installed. Now this one is obviously kind of ugly, but if you spend some more time perusing through the themes, you could find one that actually looks good. So you want to head back to your WordPress dashboard and hover over Pages and click on All Pages. And WordPress installs a sample page, okay? So you don't want that, so click on Trash to delete that, and then click on Add New. Okay, so this is where you would add the basic pages of your site, like an About Us page, or a contact page, or a privacy policy. Okay, so these would be pages. Now once that's done, click on Publish, and then you can actually see it live on your site. Finally, you want to add some posts, right? Because that's what a blog is all about. So hover over Post and click on Add New. And then here's where you can compose your first blog post if you haven't already. So put your title up here, your content here, and when it's ready to go, click Publish, and you have officially a WordPress blog. Congratulations. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.